Thank you for joining our webinar today on AI and how it impacts cybersecurity. I'm Tom Ruffolo, CISA with eSecurity Solutions. Ed Holt will be joining me today from Fortinet as the director and a very senior individual there and understands the technical direction and can explain how AI affects and impacts Fortinet and their customers. And I'm going to talk about today is a general overview of how AI impacts cybersecurity, both in terms of attacks and also the different mechanisms that are being or about to be deployed for defense, detection, and response. And then also just a quick note on what you miss out on, and if you're deploying products that are not AI infused in the future. First of all, as a general overview, cyber criminals are going to leverage AI to automate and enhance AI attacks. And basically, AI allows the attack methods to be personalized, be more zero-day, and to make them more quickly so that they're easier to deploy across a broader set of victims. And also, it allows them to provide deepfake type solutions. The increased efficiency of attacks also is a byproduct of AI, so that they can produce more attacks more easily and with the minimum amount of effort, and then therefore it enables the attacks to be launched against smaller businesses more easily. There are a variety of attack methods that are going to be deployed and are being deployed related to AI. Social engineering is the first one, and using generative AI to make more personalized and more compelling attacks will therefore have a chance to influence employees. The ability to create fake websites and make them more similar to the website that you think you're going to. In the area of malware, it will enable dynamic and real-time zero-day types attacks to be deployed more easily. Ransomware will help automate the exploitation of ransomware. It will also automate attacks in that AI bots will automate detection of the weaknesses within systems, both in websites, networks, and systems. Brute force attacks will improve deciphering algorithms. In terms of deep fakes, we've all heard about deep fakes during the elections and so forth. Generative AI will help manipulate audio, visual, so videos, photos, and audios. These things can be more easily deployed and more effectively deployed in different kinds of social engineering attacks and emails. So it's really going to make these types of attacks more effective. Cyber espionage. It helps the extraction and analysis of data that is to be stolen. So you can analyze the environment that it's in more easily, and it helps to deploy the more effective and targeted solutions, attacks basically on the customers. So IoT attacks, AI will be used to input a variety of types of attacks more easily to exploit the inherent vulnerabilities in IoT. So IoT might otherwise be more difficult to attack, but with AI, you can use various mechanisms to attack them. In the area of solutions, first of all, AI can be used to establish a baseline. And so with a lot of the solutions that are available in the market today, they are designed to establish a baseline of sort of normal and abnormal. And then once you've done that, you can use that baseline of data to detect when you're being attacked, even if the attack is not detected by a signature or some sort of static detection mechanism. So then your abnormal threshold, then look for anomalies. So like NDR or EDR, solutions like that are focused on using the abnormal and normal kinds of mechanisms and using baselines through large language models. AI can be used for real-time monitoring and to aid the process of it for products like EDR, NDR, SIEMs. The ability to deploy them and manage them and monitor them and also to respond will be enhanced. Attack prevention, AI will enable faster blocking of attacks because it will be able to detect them more quickly. Reduce false positives by leveraging larger data sets. So if you have a larger data set and you've established what is good or bad or normal or abnormal, instead of using human beings to look at smaller amounts of data and try to make judgments, you can use larger data sets to make better decisions. Zero-day attack detection by establishing baselines and anomalies. Predictive analysis forecast using AI to forecast, to create forecasts from large data analysis, ability to use AI to aid in incident response, which is part of the concept of how do you detect something quickly, how do you analyze large amounts of data to determine where the attack is coming from, and then be able to respond more quickly. So it's going to very much aid in the monitoring, detection, and response concept. In terms of products, interestingly, when you survey the market, you see that AI is already being deployed in virtually in many areas, right? So certainly EDR, NDR are built on the normal, abnormal kinds of large language model analysis concepts, and there are endpoint solutions that only use that, but there's others that augment signatures and other things to detect attacks. NDR, network detection response, is very much based on looking at network traffic, looking for normal and abnormal, and detecting when you're being attacked. SIEMs can do the same thing at a very high level. That can be enabled within SOCs to enable your SOC technicians to be more effective. Email security looks at the ability to look at large amounts of emails, looking for normal and abnormal types of things, aids in the normal process of looking for other things like malicious links. Firewalls are starting to use AI. A SOAR would be an obvious solution for that, for automating the response. We've already seen many vendors that are talking about leverageable AI, leveraging AI within their XDR, cross-product enablement of better security by looking at indications of attack from various products within a vendor's solution set, and then using AI to augment that, and potentially using the threat intelligence, right? So if you have large amounts of threat intelligence data, and you can use AI to analyze that, you can also look at normal versus abnormal. That helps in looking at all of the XDR data and determining whether or not you're being attacked or not. It will be heavily used within security operations, so you're enabling your team to be more effective and more efficient in terms of phishing and computer training within that, especially within the areas of phishing, to look at large amounts of data for emails and determining when you're being phished, when you're being attacked. The limitations that you get if you don't use AI-based solutions, so is using static solutions like signatures instead of using AI, which is more dynamic, which can look at new data and determine when things are actually attacks or not attacks, normal versus abnormal. It does lead to delays in the ability to detect attacks because you may be waiting for updates to your software instead of dynamically looking at the data. You're limited to manual monitoring of using limited data. You're potentially more likely to have error-prone methods because you're relying on humans rather than computers and algorithms that are looking at very, very large amounts of data to determine when you're being attacked. And that's a very dynamic thing. Lastly, it's just not as dynamic, right? You can't react to changes in threats. And I think the lessons to be learned, if you look at all this information, is that AI is being infused in virtually every product area. And when you're looking at your products for your overall infrastructure, you need to be thinking about making sure you work with vendors that are infusing AI across the board, and also and enabling your team to be more effective too. Basic summary of eSecurity Solutions. We provide 3 different things for our customers, right? We work for business customers. We provide GRC services, managed security solutions, and security products. And we resell the security products from leading vendors like Fortinet. Our goal is to provide a one-stop single source solution to our customers for all the areas related to security, whether it be compliance or best practices or just basic security. With that said, I want to turn it over to Ed Holt.
Well, everybody, thank you for attending. I think we've got a lot of information here, and really at the end, we've got a nice demo that you're really going to see Fortinet in action. So as you can see on the slide, it says, why work harder when you can work smarter? You know, AI-powered SecOps, the goal is really to improve your response to network issues and the threat landscape. So leveraging Gen AI can assist you with network configurations, automate complex tasks, troubleshooting, analyze threat responses, reduce time to detection and contain that, speed time to investigate and remediate incidents, enhance decision-making, streamlining your operations, and then reduce your outages and really, at the end of the day, provide a better user experience for your users. So who is Fortinet? Our mission really is to secure people, devices, data, and applications everywhere. We're really the number one cybersecurity company in the world. We're really leading the evolution in cybersecurity. I call it fortify your network. So let me prove it to you. We're based in California, founded in 2000, so over 24 years old. We've got a ton of employees. We've got data centers all over the world. We have over 140 cloud locations. That's for our SASE. And then we do training. We've actually trained Fortinet training with over 1 million cybersecurity professionals, and we're on our 2nd million. But that same training portfolio is in academic institutions, high schools and colleges today. We have over 50 different products. These are enterprise products. But the unique thing about Fortinet is we build everything basically from the ground up. So we have patents that have been issued for our technology. It's about 50% more than the nearest cybersecurity competitor on the market today. Because of all the products that we have a lot of analysts analyzing our technology, and we're in 8 Gartner Magic Quadrants. Because we have a lot of customers, almost 800,000 customers now, and this is worldwide. We're the number one firewall, next generation firewall vendor in the world. We actually sell over 52% of all firewalls. That's more than all the competitors combined. And we really produce products that are really low in power and provide great efficiency. So nearly 12 million firewalls shipped today. Some people think of us as a small SMB or a mid-sized company produce, for security, but 73% of Fortune 100 and 69% of Global 2000 companies really rely on Fortinet today. So we can scale from the very small customer to the very largest. With that said, we have the most deployed products, the most validated, the most patented, and then really that broad portfolio to protect everything from, let's say, the Internet of Things to the cloud and everything in between. So let's just talk about complexity. I think everybody's running into that as we move to those digital initiatives with any company. Applications are really moved from the data center and now into the public and private cloud or the hybrid cloud. There's over 125 in large enterprise SaaS applications that are out there. There's edge compute, and then it's obviously getting to the internet. There's a lot of users out there, and they're connecting from everywhere, whether it's home, they're traveling on a campus or branch, and then maybe even to an OT environment. So with all those devices connecting, you really need a lot of technologies. One of the things that some companies have done and said, and took a strategy and said, hey, let's buy best of breed technology. And we think that's the best way to go. But what you get here is you get a lot of different technology stacks. You get a lot of different management interfaces. You need more people to manage and monitor. You have different firmwares, different licensing upgrades. A lot of vendors cause complexity, and complexity is the enemy of security, I would say. And then you run into a skill shortage to manage and monitor all this stuff. So Fortinet really looks to try to keep pace with all that. When you think of the threat landscape today, it's really complex. Cyber gangs or threat actors are exploiting that shortness of resources. You don't have enough resources in your network. They're looking at that complexity of the network, and they're even moving faster than ever before. So if you look at this, starting at the top left, attacks are faster than they were a year or two ago, 43% faster. So they're more automated. They're using AI, and they're coming in with more channels. The recovery time is actually taking longer. Organizations, 87% of organizations today have had at least one breach. 70% agreed that there's a skill shortage. So it's hard to find people to help you, and you struggle to find and recruit talent. 50% reported lack of training, and that's some of the reasons why it's hard to retain people, because they go other places to learn other technologies, that kind of thing. 58% report that the top cause of breaches is really the lack of training. So if you're not training them and the lack of training, they leave, and then there's challenges there. 54% blame the lack of essential cybersecurity products for them to do their job. And this is all comes from a Fortinet cybersecurity skills gap report. But the threat landscape is complex, and you can see by these stats here. How does Fortinet resolve this? We do it through a security fabric, and we have three pillars of technology. One is secure networking. It's really the convergence of security and networking and protecting all the edges and devices. So taking the best of the FortiGate and extending it to the access layer, making your entire network, let's say a firewall. You want to secure users anywhere to applications in any cloud, no matter where that is. So let's take in our secure services edge and adding in SD-WAN to get to those cloud applications or applications anywhere. And then the last component is really AI-driven security, and that's what we're really going to be talking today. You want to detect, investigate, and respond to threats much faster. How do we do that? It's a security fabric. It's protecting everything really from the code to the cloud, or that user device or user to the cloud, and everything in between. The uniqueness about Fortinet is we have a single operating system. We've consolidated or converged security and networking together. The pillars of technologies that support that is our custom ASICs. We build our own ASICs for our appliances, and that's really going to help with really making the network very, very fast. Let's call it network acceleration. And then the other thing is content inspection. We're going to be able to look at that SSL traffic and still keep the network very, very fast. We've taken that performance and put it into the cloud. We have our threat intelligence with FortiGuard Labs. That's our AI and machine learning. We take all that threat intelligence and we update all the Fortinet appliances worldwide on a per second, per minute basis. Where I'm going to be focusing today is, we call it Forti AI. It's our generative AI. We want to consolidate our endpoint. We call it our unified endpoint, Forti client. So we can take anywhere from 6 to maybe 9 fabric agents, and it's all on one Forti client. It reduces the complexity on your endpoint. We take the best of IT and we extend it to the OT network, those critical networks that really run everybody's business. And then because Fortinet's an open ecosystem, we have about 700 plus different companies that have integrated with our FortiOS, FortiGate, and our platform. It takes more than one security company to actually secure a network. So I want to talk about when attackers get into the network, they really stay longer, and it's really costing companies more. The threat landscape is evolving, unpredictability, or predictably, I can't even say it. The average detection investigation time is 21 days or longer, if at all. I think you've probably heard that sometimes their dwell time is up to maybe 180 days. But according to this Enterprise Security Strategy Group, ESG, they reported on SOC modernization. They said 52% of organizations report SecOps are harder than they were 2 years ago. There's a new SEC rule, if you didn't know, that large organizations must disclose material cybersecurity incidents within 4 days. And then the average breach today is now about 9.4 million, according to ESG. So evolving attacks, increased number of users and device, the flood of logs and alerts. It's like trying to play, have you ever been at a circus trying to play whack-a-mole? When you do that, you're hitting the moles, but you're actually trying to hit the hackers. There's a lot of them out there. They're getting smarter than every day, and they're using AI. Hackers have more tools. They have playbooks. Organizations face difficulties in recruiting, training, and retaining skilled personnel for their networks. And security operations are becoming more complex than ever before. So, and luckily, there's a ton of information on the internet, best practices information that really points to connected platforms like a fabric or a mesh architecture. A fabric is the best way to mitigate the risk and drive operational efficiency in cybersecurity. In fact, recently, Fortinet actually commissioned ESG to do a ROI study of businesses who had implemented Fortinet security stack or our fabric, and then compared it to how things were before they did that. In the report, it said, once you have contained the threat, time to investigate and remediate incidents from 18.5 hours to an average of 10 minutes, and in most cases, even seconds. Speed, time is a game changer in a fight against threats and attacks. And Fortinet security operations or SecOps solutions mitigate risks and drive operational efficiency. So Fortinet is unique really in delivering a cybersecurity platform that integrates and automates across the entire threat landscape. From a unified endpoint client, I'd mentioned that earlier, we call that FortiClient. That's a one agent that can provide endpoint protection, secure access to our cloud, our SASE, Secure Access Service Edge, and zero trust network access for that least privileged access, and even endpoint detection and response. They all work seamlessly together, providing that AI-powered security services. For example, FortiAI and FortiAI Ops, there at the bottom, leverage generative AI across the platform to enhance decision-making, automate routine tasks, and enhance self-healing networks end-to-end. The integration extends beyond just tools. It also includes policies and processes. By really unifying those policies across hybrid environments and centralizing the data in a security operations data lake, organization can achieve really unprecedented levels of automation and efficiency. And then there's the FortiGuard Labs right there in the middle, provides that AI-driven security services, threat intelligence, and research. Fortinet's platform approach really provides that integration and automation that we're all really looking for. It enhances your security and reduces the operational complexity, and then really allows your IT teams to really move away from the tactical, the day-to-day mundane work to strategic initiatives within your organization. So consolidation will help detect and respond faster to threats. The NIST cybersecurity framework of identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. As you can see, the Fortinet solutions really align with the NIST cybersecurity framework. Hey, when you're considering cybersecurity solutions, more isn't always the best. A fragmented approach, best of breed, using disparate point products can really overwhelm your security staff, leading to inefficiencies and missed threats. What organizations truly need is an integrated security management solution that provides really that comprehensive visibility across the entire threat landscape. Fortinet has a holistic view, allows your organization to address the threats effectively, regardless of the environment they originate from, whether it's really on premise or in the cloud, or even across those hybrid networks. So the key is consistency by enforcing security policies uniformly and streamlining processes, and then reduce that complexity that we talk about and potentially the security gaps that attackers really try to exploit. All right, fighting fire with fire. What do I mean by that? As the perpetrators, the threat actors, they actually have AI too. So you got to really fight it with your own Gen AI. Enterprise CISOs today and everyone on this call or on the webinar are all too aware that the challenges of keeping pace with the threat landscape. The sheer volume of alerts often overwhelm teams, leading to critical threats being overlooked and improperly addressed, resulting in extended dwell times. Gen AI can significantly enhance SecOps effectively by, let's talk about it, immediately access to cybersecurity intelligence and really provide those best practices, seamlessly integrate into your product workflows, analyze vast data sets to identify patterns and really anomalies, provide deeper insights into potential threats, automating those routine tasks, generating comprehensive threat reports, and then really be tuned and curated for, as it says here, context-aware, accurate, and directly actionable information. So AI ensures that security operations move from reactive to proactive and provide faster, accurate threat detection and response. AI allows organizations to enhance their capabilities and up-level employee skill sets. That was one of the reasons they left, but that's what AI will do, up-level your employee skill sets, allowing the team to really focus on those complex threats that are in the network. AI is a journey. So what do I mean by journey? This is a checklist. We're going to talk about a checklist to consider before really implementing AI. So from moving from left to right, you want to understand your AI data management. So what does that mean? Document all types of data your AI system will use. You want to really include their sources, processing techniques, and storage methods. You want to understand these aspects to help establish clear boundaries for data usage and ensure compliance with relevant security standards and the data privacy regulations. You want to evaluate the external Gen AI risks. So what does that mean? Understand how third-party AI services may impact your organization. Consider scenarios such as processing your data using external AI-powered tools and their potential dangers. You want to develop Gen AI policy. So what does that mean? The policy should outline standards for safe deployment of Gen AI, including guidelines for transparency and accountability. And you want to ensure that all your employees know their responsibilities and their expectations when it comes to Gen AI. You want to document some use cases. So you want to create a detailed inventory of all planned Gen AI applications within your organization. You want to identify potential vulnerabilities related to that data privacy, security, and compliance. And you want to develop a comprehensive risk assessment document. So integrate Gen AI with your existing infrastructure. So you have an existing infrastructure, but you want to enhance the overall efficiency of that infrastructure. And you want to focus on embedding Gen AI within existing tools that you already have and workflows. So central data and analytic management tools, security information event management systems, and security orchestration, automation, and response platforms. So you want to integrate all that. And then I think the other thing is you want to optimize your performance. So over time, you want to optimize things. So you're going to use key performance indicators to monitor and really optimize that. So you really want to understand your mean time to detect, mean time to respond. You want to continuously evaluate that and the impact on your Gen AI system and these metrics and adjust your strategies to improve efficiency and ensure robust security operations. Again, AI, and that's what the reason for this slide, AI is a journey, and this is an outline, provides a high-level checklist of things that you should consider. So when you adopt Gen AI in the network operations, this is kind of what we're going to be seeing based on studies. By 2025, 20% of your initial configurations, you're going to use Gen AI to make those configurations. Right now it's 0, or last year it was 0. And Gen AI can actually help with troubleshooting and installation time of any technology that you have. But then it's also going to reduce site visits up to 25%. By 2026, this is incredible. 60% of network operations person will rely on Gen AI for the day 2 management. That's really the daily operations. Really, right now it's around 5%, but in 2 years, 60% are going to rely on that. And then network performance and availability improvements could be enhanced by 25% with Gen AI. All right. So I want to introduce you to Fortinet's AI, and this is our new Gen AI-based security assistant. And it uses natural language and generative AI to guide and simplify and automate your security analyst activities. With the help of our Forti AI, your security team can make better informed decisions, respond to threats, and save time with those complex tasks. So we released Forti AI, and it seamlessly integrates the user experience into Forti Manager, Forti Analyzer, our Forti SIEM and SOAR to help optimize threat investigation and response, create those playbacks, and much more. The integration improved threat analysis and response and streamline network security operations, respectively. It's a highly integrated platform. What sets Fortinet apart starts with the industry validation, highly integrated security fabric, over 10 years of AI development. So multiple generations of AI training has taken place, has enabled Fortinet to develop this deep neural network capable of sub-second classification and near real-time remediation. And then the unified of the SOC and NOC by Gen AI. Fortinet AI and the security fabric unifies the SOC and NOC, making AI accessible to teams of all sizes. So when you look at this, security first AI, it's a platform approach, it's a use case approach, and then it's automation driven. You'll see a demo on this. All right, how does it work? As AI technology become increasingly integral in cybersecurity, there is an importance in securing AI processes and ensuring customer data privacy. Very, very important. As part of this dedication, Fortinet actually hosts an AI proxy servers within the Fortinet data centers, all proxy AI connections. Okay. This setup optimizes AI performance, enhances the security of customer data. By centralizing the AI traffic through secure proxies, Fortinet ensures that all the data interactions are monitored and protected, mitigating risks associated with AI-driven, operations. FortiAI is not simply a direct call to the public Gen AI service. FortiAI and its product specialists, so our product specialists continually curate the Fortinet database of proprietary threat intelligence, product-specific knowledge, depending on the product you're using, use case examples, and they augment the AI engine data source. When a user enters a request or prompt, relevant data from the database is also sent to the Gen AI engine to enable a fully relevant contextual response. The process is known as RAG, R-A-G, and that stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. But generating an optimal response really requires more than RAG. FortiAI transforms simple natural language user prompts into precise queries, and best reflect the user's intent. So those prompts are precise queries and then best reflect the intent of the person using the system and generate an accurate contextual response. Then FortiAI then builds out a complete, relevant, and product actionable user response for the user. You can see this actionable in the demo coming up, so we're going to show you that. Best aspect of this approach is it allows incremental training, so the system is always learning. As you learn the system and use the system, it's always learning. All right, here we go. Unified with Gen AI to provide cyber defense. So integrating FortiAI and FortiAnalyzer and FortiManager significantly lower the complexity of managing advanced security system. And it really guides security personnel through detailed analysis, reducing the need of extensive technical expertise, effectively upskilling the security team and bridging the security gaps. So here on the NOC side, you can simplify deployment and changes. You can do troubleshooting and then automated enforcement. On the SOC side, using FortiAI, you can make optimal decisions, rapidly respond to threats, and then really save time on those complex tasks, which obviously saves money. So let's look at it in a little bit more detail. On the NOC side again, there's a couple of things: quicker and easier configuration, and then moving from reactive to proactive. So when we look at configurations, you can use Gen A as assisted scripting, so it can provide scripting, whether it's CLA, Jinga, or VPN Advisor. You can actually validate that scripting, and it can even make recommended editing for it. From a reactive and proactive, there's a device assistant. You can drill down on vulnerabilities. You can recommend actions, and then provides all that reporting. From a SOC perspective, it's really context-aware analysis. You can use FortiAI to evaluate anomalies and within the FortiAnalyzer's data stream. You can do best practice recommendations, remediation actions, and even help you with guidance. You can query data. Oh, I'm having trouble with that word. And generate reports. You can email reports. You can use simple language to make that happen. And then your speed threat hunting. You can investigate and respond very quickly. It's all about using voice commands. You don't have to have any, be very technical in that. And then you can use graphical representations, charts to look at that data if you need to. It's all about help you guide, simplify, and automate your job. All right. So a significant portion of the industry, let's say 91%, they say, views AI adoption as really a priority in the benefits in vulnerability assessment and threat detection. Fortinet's AI is an umbrella of AI technologies that Fortinet embeds, we embed it and integrate it into our solutions. So Fortinet AI solution really covers our AI and machine learning, FortiGuard threat intelligence and research arm, our AI for networking in FortiAI apps. So like your LAN, your WAN, your FortiGate, you can ask questions and optimize your LAN and WAN. And then there's the GenAI and Forti Manager and Forti Analyzer, as well as our SIM and SOAR. All industries, especially high tech, retail, finance, healthcare, education, transportation, logistic, manufacturing, they really are needing to improve operational efficiency. They need faster response times and enhanced IT capabilities. Our Fortinet's Gen AI will really be expanding into more Fortinet Security Fabric solutions over time and other use cases. So we're probably, if you think about Gen AI, we're probably rounding first base in a baseball game, and we've still got a long ways to go to get to home. It's going to be very dynamic. So while much of today's AI operations are more of a black box aiding in threat detection, our FortiA Generative AI provides a direct, interactive user experience that can propel security operation effectiveness. We have a security assistant that really uses natural language for Gen AI, and it really helps guide, simplify, and automate your security analyst. That's kind of a picture of it. Understanding the log data is critical for effective threat management. FortiAnalyzer 7.6 makes the process more intuitive with advanced visualization capabilities. The new graphical user interface provides enhanced charts, widgets, dashboards, and can provide an interactive way to analyze log data. Analysts can use graphical representations and charts to make sense of the log data, quickly identifying patterns, anomalies, and trends. Visualizations can produce using voice commands. So for instance, you can say, render a pie chart for block threats by destination IP, or show a bar chart of malware activities by threat type. They can quickly navigate vast data sets and pinpoint and react to potential threats. As FortiAnalyzer network telemetry analyst analyzes and interprets vast amounts of log data, FortiAI offers intuitive, conventional interface and specifies security management tasks. You can ask it questions like, again, show me threats without blocking happening on risky destinations, or give me statistics of malware activities dedicated to today's threats by name. So this is kind of the fun part of the presentation. This is going to be a quick demo. So as you know, cyber gangs are exploiting resources constraints, operational complexity, and technologies faster than ever. So we have to fight that. In this example, you're going to hear them talk about retrieving an incident for a slow backup server. There's a problem with it and it's running slow. So we're going to run a playbook and see what's happening in real time with the playbook, investigate public IP addresses, and determine if it's malicious. We want to search for IP addresses connecting to a malicious IP. We're going to use the Gen AI to load threat hunting so that you can start reviewing that threats in a report. search for an abnormal login activity. See how it was installed on that endpoint. See where it came from. How'd they get there? Display log views and to begin investigating. You're going to run a vulnerability scan. You're going to reassign an endpoint incident to a forensics team. And then you're going to run a playbook really to block that malicious IP on the FortiGate. And then you're going to, at the end of the day, enhance your security posture. You're going to generate a report of this incident. And then you're going to email the report to yourself, but then you're also going to email it to the CISO within your company. And then you're going to update the incident and hand off to the forensic team, really again with those updates. So that's what this demo is. It runs about 5 minutes. Once it's over, then I'm going to come back and help with the closeout. So enjoy the demo, but you can see how efficient this is for the AI.
Hi there. Please retrieve the incident for the slow server.
Hello, I found an incident related to the issue you mentioned. This incident, IN00000011, involves the file backup server at IP address 172.16.88.23, categorized as malicious code with a high severity level. The reported issue is that the server is running slow. Would you like to check more details about this particular endpoint? I can provide additional information and offer a FortiAnalyzer playbook via FortiClient EMS connector for further investigation. Note: ensure that the FortiClient EMS connector is properly configured for seamless integration.
Yes, please run the FortiClient playbook.
Performance overview. The file backup server, 172.16.88.23, is experiencing slowdowns, primarily due to the QCloud process consuming 98% of the CPU. Process details. In addition to QCloud, other processes like Apache, SSHD, etc. are also running on the server. Recommendations. Further checks on the IP 136.243.90.99 using FortiGuard and VirusTotal are recommended.
Sounds good. Please investigate this public IP address.
FortiGuard alert, threat, Monero.cryptocurrency miner, impact, network resource consumption, technologies involved, browser-based, network protocol, client-server, peer-to-peer, cloud-based, mobile device. Observed behavior, excessive bandwidth usage on default ports TCP/80 and TCP/443. Potential consequence, server slowness on 172.16.88.23 may be due to a Monero cryptocurrency miner. Recommendations. Immediate remediation steps are strongly recommended to address and eliminate this potential security threat. Credit: FortiGuard application control signature information, fortiguard.com/appcontrol/440.
Please search for any other IP addresses connecting to the same malicious IP.
Investigation result. Sources attempting to connect to malicious IP 136.243.90.99. The FortiAnalyzer API query has identified multiple sources attempting to connect to the malicious IP, notably the server at IP address 172.62.88.23, currently experiencing slowness, is among them. Recommendations. Investigate source IPs for potential threats. Check FortiAnalyzer threat hunting for more information on 136.243.90.99.
Please load the threat hunting page so I can take a look.
Sure, I've redirected you to the FortiAnalyzer threat hunting page with a focus on the malicious destination IP 136.243.90.99. If you have any questions or need further assistance, don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you. Please search for abnormal login activity related to these source IP addresses.
I've investigated the login events related to source IP 172.688.23 from the threat hunting list. Here's a detailed summary of the login attempts. If you'd like to explore these login attempts in more detail, I can take you to the log view for a closer examination. Would you like to proceed?
Sure, please proceed.
To examine the Linux server login logs forwarded to FortiAnalyzer by FortiClient, apply the following filter in FortiAnalyzer log view. Considering the potential brute force attempt identified in the login logs, it is recommended to perform a vulnerability scan on the affected Linux server. This scan can help identify and address potential security weaknesses. Please initiate a vulnerability scan on the Linux server using your preferred scanning tool or platform. If you need assistance with specific scanning procedures or recommendations, feel free to ask.
Please reassign the incident to the forensics team.
Sure thing. Before I do the handoff, do you want to block the IP on FortiGate to the CryptoMiner server 136.243.9.99 and quarantine all infected hosts?
Good idea. Please go ahead.
I have successfully executed the following actions. 1. Blocking IP. The playbook block IP was executed to block the IP address 136.243.90.99, which was associated with the suspicious QCloud process. These measures aim to enhance the security posture and mitigate potential threats identified during the investigation.
Please generate a report for this incident.
Sure thing. I've generated a preview of the following incident into a report for you. Would you like to save a copy of this report?
Yes, please download it to my computer.
All right, I've downloaded the report to your device.
Please also email a copy of the report to the CISO.
The incident summary report has been successfully sent to the Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, using the designated output profile. The email includes detailed information regarding the endpoint slowness incident, along with recommended actions and future recommendations. If there are any further inquiries or updates required, please don't hesitate to let me know.
Great. Please update the incident details and hand off to forensics team.
Understood. I've updated the incident with a new comment summarizing the issue.
So I hope you enjoyed that AI demo with FortiAnalyzer. The benefits of integrating AI-powered security operations really is a game changer. AI and GenAI capabilities ensures that organizations can handle the growing threat landscape with agility and confidence. With Fortinet's integrated and AI-enhanced tools, your organization can outpace and outsmart the attackers. Detect in minutes, not days. Streamline your operations. Reduce your workload. Eliminate blind spots. Scale when you're ready. Thank you for joining today's webinar. I hope you enjoyed today's introduction to Fortinet Security Fabric, AI, and GenAI tools, and the demo. Let me turn it back over to Tom.
Yeah, so we just want to close out here, but there was a bunch of questions submitted. First of all, the security vendors aren't using the commercial models like Chat, GPT, and so forth, except for general searching capabilities, right? So we already know how that works in Google or Chat GPT or something, where you can search for things and it finds things very quickly, or if you wanted to generate an article or something, or on a topic, it can pull from a lot of sources and do that. That's the value of very, very large data sets that AI can leverage to correlate a lot of information together. And there's two basic benefits that people are going to get from AI, the big ones, right? The first one is it's going to make your security better, right? So that's number one. And it does it by leveraging AI and these very large, in some cases, smaller data models, but they're vendor specific, or maybe it's a general threat security database that is used for general threat information. But when you have large amounts of data like that, you can analyze it and you can correlate what an attack looks like. So if you know that you were attacked and you can see the circumstances around that, you can create linkages and say, which is a lot about like how EDR works, endpoint detection and response works if they're using AI, right? They're looking for other ways to detect attacks other than signatures, right? So like this is exactly how they're attacking me. But if you see that you're attacked in a number of different ways, and you can see what the indicators of attack are, you can correlate them, and you can look for other ways to detect attacks. And you're gonna see that in firewalls and endpoint security, and NDR, network detection response, is all about that, right? It looks at all your network traffic for like a week or 2 weeks or something, and it says, okay, assuming you weren't attacked during those week or 2 weeks, this is your normal traffic. And then it can look at traffic and look for anomalies. Okay, this happened. It's outside of the normal. I mean, it's not just like I got this something from a different location, but it's detectable anomaly to the way your traffic looks based on the model. And so when you detect an anomaly, even though you don't know that that's an attack, it teaches you that you need to go look to see if it is, right? And in some cases, you would know that certain things look like this, and you can say, if this happens, I know that's an attack. But looking for normal and abnormal based on large data sets is the way a lot of this stuff works, and correlating the data, looking for indications of attack. Or the other thing is, it'll make your security op teams more effective, right? So I think Ed was showing you a lot of how it could enable a security ops team to be more effective. You can use it to do research, right? And it could be based on your large data model. It could be based on the vendor's model. So we're looking for good versus bad. We're looking to use it in forensics. We're looking to use it to enhance your threat intelligence and the database that's specific to you. I mean, there's a lot of things it could be used for, but at the end of the day, every vendor is going to use it a little differently, and also the concepts are going to evolve over time. I think the lesson here is you should be looking for vendors who are using it in effective ways. You should be looking for it to impact your security and make it better. So look for solutions that are leveraging it, and figure out how they're doing it. And secondly, see how they're using it to enhance the tools that you have for managing your security products as well.